Okay, so this is just a quick reaction to this morning's hearing at the Undercover Policing Inquiry. It's day 8 of Tranche 2, Phase 2. This morning's hearing, it hasn't been live evidence. We were meant to be hearing from Dave Morris by now. It won't be. It'll be this afternoon. So this morning has been purely a procedural hearing, I guess maybe you'd call it. I don't know what. There's probably a proper name for it. Regarding the reporting restriction orders for... So there are 11 reporting restriction orders that are in place to... there's 11 individuals, private individuals, who've applied for reporting restriction orders to do with evidence that will be heard during Tranche 2, Phase 2, and most notably concerning that regarding the conduct of the former undercover police officer, Bob Lambert. As a result of these restriction orders, the inquiry made a ruling that they would not be live streaming proceedings or providing any form of Zoom link to those who are most affected to follow proceedings and engage with further questioning during the 10-minute break at the end of each hearing when further questions are asked of witnesses based on things they've given in the main body of their questioning. It was not a particularly long session. The majority of the morning was spent waiting for the chair to make his decision about what he was going to do about that. He has decided there will not be any live streaming of any of the hearings. He relented on the Zoom link, and there will be, for a select number of affected individuals and the media, there will be a Zoom link of with a 10-minute delay of live proceedings for certain people. However, that will not be ready until Thursday morning at the earliest, which means that the evidence this afternoon of Dave Morris will not be live streamed. It will not be available via Zoom link to those who are most affected. It will be released supposedly as a transcript tomorrow at noon, and within 3 to 4 working days with the video, an edited video that removes anything that's referencing anything that's under a reporting restriction order. Now, I mean, I would say this idea that the transcript will be provided tomorrow and that the video will be provided in 3 to 4 working days is highly unlikely. Previously, the inquiry has failed to provide the transcript of things which have been live broadcast in that sort of period of time, and we have waited more than 2 weeks for the video of the evidence of Roger Pierce when he gave evidence during phase 1 of this tranche. So the assurances from the inquiry that there will be a timely release of the transcript and the video that doesn't break the restriction orders, I don't believe, and I don't think anybody who's been following the inquiry closely could believe those things either. It means that for the next 4 weeks there will be no live stream of hearings. It means if you want to follow proceedings, the only way to do so is either in retrospect, waiting for them to come out, which may be, I mean, I would guess it's probably more likely to be 2 weeks rather than 3 to 4 working days, or follow my tweets, which is not acceptable really for anybody to actually get a proper handle on things. I mean, it's perfectly okay if you were not personally affected and are looking to see what's happening, but if you are personally affected, you really do want to have proper evidence provided to you, proper link. There will be people who will have access to that Zoom link. They will be limited in number. It's not automatic for all call participants. There will be some sort of process of application. There's a concern from the inquiry that these links might be shared, which suggests they don't really understand how Zoom works. This does not surprise me. Or rather that they have no control over the way that they're setting it up, which is even more ridiculous. I don't think this is a good thing. I think it's a very bad thing. The inquiry looked to the previous judgments of Justice Thirlwell, who presided over the inquiry into the deaths that related to Lucy Letby. All those proceedings were not live streamed either. This is a very different scenario, which Mitting accepted, but he was not. He still believed that it showed there was a basis for him removing all live streams. He claimed that it wouldn't be possible for the questioning to be compartmentalized, that there should be a cluster. Essentially, the proposal was there would be a cluster of questions that related to the reporting restriction orders that could happen at the end of the sets of questioning when the live stream could be turned off for a short period of time. That appears, that won't be happening. This is far too difficult. So yeah, we go forward in secret. The Undercover Policing Inquiry. Public only in name, inquisitive only in name, completely. I mean, it says a lot that when a public inquiry into actions of the secret state are as equally as secretive as the state itself. I mean, the fact that the information will not be being released properly for a number of days, if you believe them, is because there's huge numbers of hearings that are taking place. That means that video will be released on a day when there's new evidence taking place. I don't see how anybody who's properly following proceedings will find that useful. It's an incredibly frustrating situation. When I do cover the inquiry with like the live tweets, I'm very aware that I am not providing a stenographer's version of it. It is not a blow-by-blow account. It is highlights. I am simply picking out individual things I think are of interest and trying to spread those far and wide. I am no replacement for proper coverage. But there we go. That's as it currently stands. We don't know if Dave will be giving his evidence this afternoon. He has yet to decide. I've just seen him now. He's taking advice. Metzing invited him to give evidence on Thursday morning, if you prefer, when a Zoom link will be provided to certain people. Chris Bailey is giving evidence tomorrow, or is scheduled to. He also will not have the opportunity to stream any of his via a private Zoom link to those who are most affected. It won't be live streamed either. Nothing will be live streamed for the next 4 weeks. It seems unlikely, apparently I'm not sure of the details, that he would be able to come back on a later date. So if he chooses not to give evidence, he won't be giving evidence at all. I don't see how this helps the inquiry in any way. If you've got a situation where witnesses are refusing to appear unless it's live streamed, which is their right, then why would you choose to reject them rather than have that live streamed? It seems somewhat short-sighted of me, and I think it is a dereliction of the terms of reference of the inquiry to a certain extent. I'm sure that doesn't stand up to legal argument, but that's how it appears to me as a layperson. Yeah, I'm going to get some lunch now because this legal nonsense is nothing about the substantive issues which I'm here to follow. That is, I'm interested in what the undercover police officers did when they were deployed. Not interested in the way in which the inquiry runs itself. However, the way the inquiry runs itself they have totally abandoned any form of trauma-informed approach. So there is no space given to the fact that so many people who are affected to giving evidence are affected by these topics. There's not even a breakout room for people affected to go to beforehand or afterwards. I'm now sat in the foyer. You might hear the noise as people go past, and some friends of mine make silly faces at me as I'm doing this. It's not conducive for anybody really concerned. This removal of the live stream means that if someone wants to follow it closely, they need to appear in person, and they haven't set up the situation for when you're appearing in person to accommodate for people's concerns. I mean, it is particularly obnoxious, annoying, and quite frankly disgusting when we compare it to the years that we spent, the literal years we spent, whilst the inquiry sketched out a privacy approach for the undercover police officers to give evidence. That was done at a crawl. This is being done at a sprint. It stinks, quite frankly. Anyway, I'll see you this afternoon with more. Please join us. Cheers.